do my backups.
In the wall.
We're live. We're not recording yet, though.
I live in the wall.
I have to
urinate.
No, I have to. I did that. That's why I was a little late.
Oh, okay, very good.
I have to reopen my audio thing, but we will record the podcast in a second.
Yay!
But we're still live on YouTube, almighty YouTube, if you will.
YouTube.
You live. Got last one.
You live, you learn.
You love, you learn. Is that the song where she's in the back seat? She's like all four seats in the car.
No, that's ironic. Isn't it ironic? Yeah, it's ironic. Don't you think? She plays four different parts in the car, in a wedding day, and the car crashes, and they're in the car.
Okay, yeah, it is her.
Yeah, I told you.
It is that song.
I know my Atlantis.
I just remember that the music video. Goddamn, it could be anything. What does that have to do with irony? What does the lyrics have to do with irony?
The song doesn't have anything to do with irony. Exactly. You stupid Canadian bitch.
I did an episode in a chapter of Things That Burn in Hell about it. And
yes,
that song. And the only ironic thing I found in the song was the no smoking sign in your cigarette break.
Okay,
was it?
Yeah.
Because having 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife is not ironic.
No, that's just a problem.
It's just you being a fucking idiot ordering 10,000 spoons.
When all you need is a knife.
Yeah.
What about meeting the man of your dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife?
That's just life.
Ironic? Is that ironic?
No, it's not even irony.
No, okay. He waited his whole life to take that flight.
I know what you're saying.
The plane crashed down. He thought, well, isn't this life? Is that ironic?
No, that's just unfortunate. It's not irony.
All right. I see your game.
Yeah, it's a song. Okay. Wedding day, raining on your wedding day. That's not irony. That's just unfortunate. It's like there should be called unfortunate. Isn't it unfortunate?
So you're saying women shouldn't write music?
I'm saying Meredith Brooks' "Bitch" song was the pinnacle of women singing.
I'm a bitch.
And fuck Taylor Swift.
I'm a woman. I'm a tease. I'm a mother. I'm a sinner. I'm Taylor Swift.
Have you noticed that Taylor Swift legit has a goddamn army and fuck all of them?
Oh, yeah, they're the worst. They come after you if you go after Tasteway.
Fuck her.
Oh, it'd be great.
Why her? Why
war?
I have no problem with her. I have a problem with the fans.
Let's get some fucking get some press and go after Tasteway and get the fans to watch our show and hate us for it.
I could name 55 singers right now that they never heard of that are way better, and it won't.
Yeah, yeah, it
will not matter.
She's the greatest. What are you talking about? Tasteway, Twisties with Swifties.
When you attach yourself to a musical artist, you kind of fall victim to what Michael Jackson had, where people are denying the fact that he's a pedophile. And it's like, no, the man definitely was.
Now, the problem with Michael Jackson was, like Paul Mooney said, he was just a freak. He was X-Files.
I'm going off X-Files. I choose to follow the path or the advice of if you've seen the Shannon Sharp interview with Cat Williams, have you seen that stuff lately?
Oh no, not for. I think.
Goddamn, it's funny. He goes, people have been talking about Michael Jackson being a pedophile for 25 years when he's alive. He's like, let's say this is a stand-up one he did, and he goes, nobody says that about you for that long. Like people told Whitney Houston, you're a crackhead. Because you're on crack, Whitney. She smoked her knees off. Fucking funny, but it's true.
So you're saying music fans mirror the musician, like in a way where it's unsavory and kind of sad, and it ties into this movie because Roger Waters
music. When bands tattooed on themselves, it's fucking gross and wear their merchandise.
Yeah, it's very good.
Put stuff up on their walls.
Isn't it ironic that you're saying these things?
Isn't it? Oh, my camera shut off.
Your camera shut off because I didn't want to look at Pink Floyd.
Irony overdosed.
Is anybody in there? It's not if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Well, you notice that Val Kilmer's wife was in this movie?
Well,
Joanna Whaley.
No. Welcome to Hollywood is Dead, episode 152. Pink Floyd, The Wall from '82. It's my choice. I'm Phoenix West.
It's time to start the show. Well,
I
I'll
sent
just
along as a surrogate podcast host to find out where you fans really stand.
yes.
Which is more lyrics of that.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yes, Dick. I forced you to watch Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Yes.
Knowing it's one of my favorite movies because of how goddamn depressing it is and how
It's interesting.
It's like the best music video of all time.
Yeah, I'll give it that. I'll give you that much. Yeah.
I am very, very curious, and I don't know if I want to get right into it. We can't play any clips. If we do, it's gonna be audio free.
Yeah, might be better if we did that because the imagery is worth looking at.
The imagery is the best part.
Yeah.
Alan Parker made what he said was the most expensive student film of all time, and
he's right.
But also the designer said, "I don't know why anyone would watch this. I don't know why anyone likes it."
He's right.
I don't agree. No, it's a movie, and this is just my preface, and then I'll get into what you thought about it. It's a movie and I can only think of two movies where I'll give this compliment to, and it is a compliment. My favorite parts of the movie are completely silent. When a song ends and he has those long tracking shots.
Yeah.
Going through a set, and it's just like it's building tension and the emotions building, and goddamn, he did such a good job with those silent scenes. And there's a bunch in the beginning and then a bunch in the end because it's kind of a
right. Well, the end is just the whole trial, animated trial,
right before the trial starts.
Yeah,
there's a long tracking shot, and it goes in. And you see the guy washing his hands, and he does a psychopath thing where he goes, puts the soap on and gets his hands wet, and he goes and scoops up what's in the sink.
Yeah,
and I went, "Oh,
psycho!"
The first time seeing that, seeing that specific, and I was like, "Oh, gross! Who does that in a public bathroom? Ew! Don't touch the water after it touched the sink."
I won't touch the water in the sink.
And then the camera goes overhead of the toilet stalls, and you see Pinky's in there, and he's Bob Geldof's writing in his little book, and he's singing up, he's reciting a little dialogue. But then I can't remember how far it is after that, but it's starting to get that music's building and building, and then you hear him go, "Stop!"
Yeah,
and then he goes silent. It's right before that,
right?
And it's so effective. The silent scenes in this, and the only other movie I would say the silent scenes are the best is Gravity.
Okay,
where it's completely silent and you're just watching what's happening.
Right.
It doesn't happen much because Clooney doesn't shut the fuck up. And then Sandra Bullock is talking to herself the whole goddamn time. But anytime it's silent, I was like, yes. Like, just breathing in, because that's the reality of being out there in space alone. And I'm curious what you think about this movie, what you thought. You mentioned Vietnam when you told me about it. What did you think? Just tell me in your honest opinion. I don't care either way.
No, I'm glad I watched it because I always wanted to, and I was like, I was never like. I mean, I like Pink Floyd, but I'm not like a diehard or anything. I haven't listened to much of their stuff. Like I've heard, Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall. I heard their other stuff, but I know Roger Waters is such a hated figure. Everybody hates Roger Waters.
I don't,
but
he's a hero of mine. I would say
that. Right. But everybody else who knows him hates him. So it's like everybody, like they probably come to you and be like, "Listen, Phoenix, he's an asshole, and don't let him break your heart because he will. He breaks his own children's hearts. They didn't even want to tour with him."
He's one of those guys where I always say the only celebrity that I'm obsessed with and would love to meet was Bill Murray.
Right.
Beyond that, and Mike Nelson.
Mike Nelson, yeah, that'd be great.
They would be super fucking nice and cool.
Yeah.
I never want to meet Roger Waters.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I saw him live once doing The Wall, and it was incredible. And I'm like, oh man, should I try to go and try to do, because I'm used to the stadium, I know how to get back there. No, I'm going home.
Right.
I don't want to meet Roger Waters because I think I would just be pissed off.
Get the fuck out of here.
And honestly, it's one of those guys where what do you say to him that he hasn't heard 1,000 times?
Right.
So fuck it. You want to be the guy that says something like you want to bring up that really weird, obscure thing, and I probably would because I love his solo albums. Amused to Death is an incredible album, and my favorite Pink Floyd album is the Final Cut, the one after this. They actually used some of the Final Cut songs in this.
Right.
Do you remember the beginning? Like one of the first songs you hear is when the tigers broke free.
Right.
During the war sequences, that's from the Final Cut. They put it in there later, but it was recorded during that session. But I would probably be that guy, and you'd be like, "Great."
So that reminds me of a story somebody told me years ago, where he went and saw the Mr. Show live.
Yeah,
this is back in like it's like 2000, 2001, 2002.
Oh god, I'm curious because both of those guys are assholes in real life.
Well, here's what happened. I guess this guy, his name was Shane. And he goes, and he talked like with a southern accent. He was from California. And he goes, I didn't know what to tell these guys about such a big fan. But I saw Bob Odenkirk. I came up to him, and all I could say to him, to his face, was, "Fuck you, Bob." And he goes, that's all he said. And they walked away. And that was his encounter with the big fans of the Mr. Show with Bob and Dave. And all he could muster was, "Fuck you, Bob."
It is a line from Mr. Show, though. I think.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's what he did.
Second, early third season.
He goes, I couldn't help myself. I had to do it. But I'm glad I watched this movie. I enjoyed a lot of it. I did enjoy the images, the visuals.
Can I say something real quick while we're on Bob and Dave?
Please.
I still haven't seen the With Bob and Dave on Netflix. I'm curious about it. Right. But even Dave Cross's story about meeting Bob Odenkirk is the same. Here's his story. I'll tell it real quick. He goes, my friend's like, "Hey, you want to come over? Let's play basketball with this guy. He lives right here, and we can play at his hoop." He goes, "Okay, but we need a ball." "Okay, we'll go over here, and we'll go to my friend Bob's house." And he goes, the screen door is closed, and they're like, "Hey, Bob," and they lean in, and they can see him, and he's facing away from them, eating cereal, watching TV. And he goes, "Yeah," doesn't look at him. He's like, "Hey, this is my friend Dave. Do you mind if we borrow a basketball to go play?" And he's like, "No, I don't have one." "Cool, man. All right, bye." And that's his story with meeting.
That's fine.
Bob Odenkirk. And I was
fine.
like, that makes sense because they're both kind of standoffish and they're both like in their own space. So I can see meeting both of them being super awkward.
Yeah.
If you're not just, I don't know, you need to meet them as equals.
But Odenkirk wrote for SNL for a long time. He was in the 90s era. Like he was in the prime era.
Well, this is before that. This was, 1990, somewhere in there.
No.
When they met.
I think he was there in the 90s.
I meant when they met.
Yeah. Back in the 80s, maybe. I don't know. But no, The Wall.
Anyway, sorry, The Wall.
I'm glad I watched it. I did, but Alan Parker, which is funny, you haven't seen any other Alan Parker projects, have you?
I was looking into his list, his discography, if you will, his filmography, and I was like, I like Alan Parker's style, even though I don't like the movie, his last movie, which was The Life of David Gale.
Right, David Gale.
I still like the way it's shot, but it's not a good movie, and it's very predictable.
Right,
because I was
that wasn't his fault.
This is just Primal Fear,
right?
Yes, but that's not the director's fault. And I was like, it's still a well-directed movie, and I've seen. Oh God, let me pull them up, because the two things I've seen of his beyond that are The Road to Wellview and Birdie. Outside of those two things,
Birdie, yeah. So
Birdie, the Nick Cage movie, is solid fucking directed movie, and I can see exactly how he went from Pink Floyd to Birdie, right? Because they're very similar the way they directed. Because there's scenes of goddamn, what is Matthew Modine in Birdie where he's naked and hunched over and thinks he's a goddamn bird. It's a true story, and it looks exactly like Pink Floyd The Wall. The scenes of Bob Geldof,
right? Yeah,
and goddamn, that's a good movie, and it's such a well-directed movie. And The Road to Wellview is not that great, but it is a well-made movie.
Another movie that probably had studio interference, though, I would assume.
Yes,
because it felt like it was a bigger movie.
And
he
a
had no
movie
control.
about cornflakes. What a fucking weird.
Well, it's about the guy that invented cornflakes who had his
Yeah.
his health institute. He was a madman for health, and he actually, this is all true story. So this actually did happen.
Do you know I talked to you about the weekend I watched, like it wasn't a weekend, it was like after school for like 2-3 days. I sat there and I watched like a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
Shawshank for the first time, Memento,
No.
Johnny Darko. So a bunch of movies I fucking love. Road to Wellevue was one of them.
Wow, that was in the stack, huh?
Because I rented that and I was like, because I've always been curious since it came out, and I was like, oh fuck it, get it. I love John Cusack, so that's why. So I put it in. I'm like, what is this? Like,
Is John Cusack in
he
that?
is.
I thought it was Matthew Broderick.
Oh God, maybe maybe I'm misremembering.
Yeah, you are.
No,
John
it is Matthew
Cusack
Broderick, definitely.
Yeah, John Cusack is not in Road to Wellville.
Okay, maybe it's a different. Oh no,
Were you thinking of maybe Gross Point Blank?
no, I saw that before that.
Because that's a
No,
good
John
movie.
Cusack is in Road to Wellevue.
Oh,
Don't fuck with me.
was he? Okay. I'm
He plays,
sorry. I used to
Charles
remember Matthew Broderick.
No, I rented it because
so no.
no, I have had those memory slips where you're thinking of it wrong, but yeah, John Cusack was the reason I rented that movie.
Okay, that makes sense then.
But it is a Matthew Broderick. Like, I think he's the lead of that movie, right?
Yeah, that's the problem, probably.
Yeah, he's the lead. Anthony Hopkins, Bridget Fonda, Matthew Broderick. Speaking of Bridget Fonda again,
Yes.
Dana Carvey, Michael Lerner,
Yeah.
Laura Flynn Boyle. It's just one of those movies that had so many people. And
who wrote it? Who's the writer on that movie?
oh, shit, I just closed it. That was written by Alan Parker.
Oh,
I'm guessing T. Corrigason Boyle wrote the book.
Probably, yeah.
But what a weird goddamn movie, and I don't want to do it on this show because I don't want to sit there and watch it again.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
I saw it 23 years ago, and I'm good.
Wow.
25.
Well,
7.
I might be I might be in the same place with this movie 23 years from now. I saw it once. I'm good, but I think what's funny though is my little state theater here, the local like arts theater. Guess what movie they showed this week? Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Road to Wellevue.
Yeah, that would have been even funnier. No, Pink Floyd's The Wall. They had it for one night only. I think it was like yesterday or 2 days ago. I wasn't going to pay for it. I saw this on YouTube for free.
Oh, really?
It was on YouTube, yeah, for free.
God damn, I wish I would have known that.
So I watched it on YouTube, and it was perfect. It was great. And
thank God
I watched it when I did because I had no internet for fucking 24 hours yesterday.
Yeah, you told me that, and I was like, hopefully we do a show today. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Well, I did kind of broke down earlier tonight. I was thrown off.
Luckily, I'm not dickless for the rest of the night.
Yeah. Dickless here.
So again, you're not going to hurt my feelings. You're not a Pink Floyd fan. I'm not. This is my 4th favorite Pink Floyd album.
Right.
And to be completely honest with you, I like the album Pink Floyd The Wall. I grew up with this. My aunt had the double album on CD growing up.
Yeah.
And I do like the album, but I didn't love it until I saw the movie. Because suddenly it was, for me, it's every song is kind of just as dreary and just blends into the next dreary song. And the next one is, it's dreary. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's 26 songs like that. There's 13 songs on each album, and it's a double album.
Wow.
And it just drifts. And there's a song called Vera Lynn, and they barely play it in the movie. And it's like, this has nothing to do with building a wall. I love the imagery and the analogy more than the actual music.
Right.
Like building a wall around your life and holding the other people responsible at first, and then the later songs are him realizing it's my fault too for continuing this and not really tearing down the wall.
I thought they were saying this is about fascism.
There is a part of that. That's a separate. There's 2 parts.
Because there's a documentary on Amazon about the wall, and I saw like a clip of it. I kind of want to watch it. It's like a 15-minute long documentary. And they said 2 people are arguing. The guy was saying, well, Roger saw it this way. I saw it this way. Nobody seems to see this movie or this album as one and the same. Everybody has a different opinion on it. So it's like, is it about fascism? Is it anti-fascist? And then he says, there's people who have adopted it to be fascist.
Yes.
So they're like, well, they're
The
not getting
Donald
it
Trump
either.
supporters started wearing "Build the Wall" in the font, and it's like
That's not
Roger
the same.
Waters
That's not the
wrote
same.
that in the exact
Yeah.
opposite meaning of what you're doing.
Well, but and build the wall. Anyway, it's a whole different
No, but
concept.
they're doing it
It's a
in the
different
Pink Floyd
idea.
font.
Right. Well,
Build
yeah,
the
because
wall, and it's like
it's cool.
I don't think you know what the wall. It's the same thing when I see people
Yeah.
playing "Comfortably Numb" at a wedding.
Right.
And I'm like, you know that song's about completely detaching yourself emotionally from those around you.
Is it about
And you're playing
suicide
that
or
as your wedding dance.
is it about Roger Waters' life?
It's
Comfortably numb.
yeah. Honestly,
My hands sweat like two balloons.
I'll say this about Roger Waters: call him an asshole, call him what you will. I agree with all of it. Unlike Chevy Chase, Roger Waters is very self-aware and admits that he's an asshole.
And Alan Parker did not resign from filmmaking after he made a movie with Roger Waters.
No, he did try to resign from the movie.
Right.
But Roger Waters is like, you're contractually obligated to film the rest of this. And he's like, you're right.
All right. All right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it.
But Roger Waters wanted to keep making it smaller and smaller. And Alan Parker was like, no, it's a theatrical movie.
Yeah, you gotta be big on
So much
stuff,
so
bro.
that in the Final Cut album, which is the year after this, there's a whole lyric about like selling to the wider audience. Hollywood comes at the end of the rainbow. He's basically saying like Alan Parker. It's basically about Alan Parker and how he wanted these big ideas for the mass audience. I don't know. It's the guy's an asshole. He doesn't even deny it. I don't deny it. I love that he's so introspective while still being an asshole, because the whole album is like there's two parts. You mentioned the fascism. There's the part about the fascism because his dad died in World War II, and so he had to grow up without him, and that's all the majority of the first half of the movie.
And it's World War One. That's the one thing that's like kind of funny is that I got the aesthetic is World War One, but it's supposed to be World War Two.
Yeah, I don't know,
which is fine. I don't mind it, but I thought that was kind of funny.
But he's going in there and he finds his daddy's stuff and he's dressing up like him. And there's a really heartbreaking scene where he's grabbing that guy's hand at the park, like, cause he doesn't have a dad. So he's like, take me on the swing. And the guy's like, get the fuck away from me.
Good thing he wasn't a pedophile.
Yeah. And there's just so much of that stuff where I resonate with that because of me personally.
Right.
Yeah. I can't really deny that. There's the parts with him. Sorry, he gets older and the mom. He's trying to really, really connect with the mom. And he kind of gets over into the mom because the dad's gone. Right. I don't resonate with that exactly, but I understand why he would do that. And that's all stuff that really happened to him. And it's just a whole generation of British people who grew up without dads because they all died in the war.
Right. Yeah.
And he sings about that and writes about that so much in his music. And clearly it affected him. The Final Cut album that I love so much is completely about that. It's a picture of a soldier, the front cover, with a knife in his back. And he's just standing there. It's fucking brutal. And he talks about how they basically got stabbed in the back after they got killed because they just dead. Move on. It's like, no, we're gonna remember the memory. Like he was my dad.
That stiff upper lip kind of British attitude.
Stiff upper lip so many times in that.
Oh, stiff upper lip.
And I like that because it was like that punk rock attitude while still not playing punk music. But it's like, fuck you, so hard. How dare you diminish like what I went through as a kid because you want to stiff upper lip and move on? Like, no, that was my dad. And now I have to. I don't know. That's why I say I get why he's an asshole. The man didn't know how to be as a kid, and I'm kind of the same way where I didn't know. Nobody taught me how to act. I had to learn that on my own. So
and you're a better father than anybody would have thought you would have been.
Yeah, definitely.
How amazing is that?
I don't know if that was a compliment or not, but I'll take it.
Yes, it's a good call. Yeah, you're a good dad. You're a wonderful dad.
Yeah,
it's kind of amazing.
I don't know. It's just it's an album and a movie that resonate with me, and I think Alan Parker did such a good goddamn job with it. Even though he personally didn't resonate with Roger Waters at all.
Right? Yeah.
He didn't like Roger Waters. He couldn't stand him. Couldn't wait to be done. And I'm like, and he still did such a good job, like just technique wise, making the movie that I'm so glad he stuck in there.
You know what? You just sold me. I know what movie we're gonna watch next week.
Okay. You want to hold off until the end?
I can, yeah.
Can you? Let's save it. Let's
I'll
save it.
save it, but it's tied to exactly what we're talking about
Okay.
right now. Yeah.
It's I'm trying not to go to like too like specifics of like, why I love it. It's just I don't know, because I didn't love. Oh, get back to what I started this with. Never loved The Wall. I like the concept, but I never like the music itself. To me, is just kind of it's like acoustic guitar at its laziest for most of it.
Right.
And it just kind of drifts into the next song. And why are there 3 versions of the worst song on the album? We don't need no.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I remember thinking this as a kid. I'm like, I like that there's 3 versions, but why? This is the worst song.
And then Korn did a version.
Korn, yeah. But in the movie, they turn it into. I mean, that's what the music was for, which is basically the whole. Oh, so sorry. I'm so sorry, Dick. I want to start like 5 different threads right now. Please. I'll finish what I was saying. I never loved The Wall until I saw the movie.
And right. Like, okay.
Now I'm seeing visuals for what he's going for, and I understand it more. I understand the person more.
Right.
Because the music itself, I was like, it's okay. I like the themes, but I'm not. Now that I see the themes, I realize what he was thinking in his head, putting it together, and I liked it more. With that being said, the themes is we have the whole mother thing. I would say there's part A, mother, and that starts because the dad dies. So dad dies, mother starts building this wall because she's his precious boy and nobody can hurt him and nobody can love him as much as I do, sort of thing. That becomes a running theme throughout it, which is all these women coming up to me because I'm in a band now and I don't give a shit about them, which is the whole closing himself off, which is the continuing building of the wall the mother started. And that's the personal stuff with building the wall. And the wife can't break through. She tries until the very end where he learns he has to tear it down himself. That's kind of the theme with that. Whole fascism stuff is because the dad died with Nazis. And that's a whole separate thing, which is the Nazis in the language of the film and the album are the Nazis become the music producers. They become the fans. Music producers and fans start to dictate, you have to do this because that's what we want. You aren't allowed to do this because we expect this of you. Yes. They hire literal Nazis, neo-Nazis to do that stuff.
Yeah, I read that in the trivia. How it was like they really had a real fascist group there and they didn't realize it.
Alan Parker was not a fan of that.
No, I wouldn't be either. I'd be kind of afraid.
I'm sure Roger Waters had to leave because Roger Waters definitely wasn't a fan of that because he wrote the opposite. And they're like singing Pink Floyd lyrics, and he's like, "No, fuck you guys, so hard."
But then they took the hammers and they made the hammers a fascist symbol for some group in Britain.
I saw that.
Which I saw that too. I was like, oh, the thing that they designed for the movie, and they took it and corrupted it in their own fascist way. It's like,
the hammer is a symbol. Obviously it's a play on the Nazi thing, but it's just hammering in. This is who you have to be. Fascism. This is what you need to do. Fascism. Record label, your fans, actual Nazis. He's tying them all together,
right,
in the same thread, which is why he loses his mind. My favorite scenes are when Bob Geldof is just fucking punching a TV, freaking out.
He tears up that hotel room.
But when he's just sitting there during the beginning of Comfortably Numb, he's sitting there in a hotel room, and they break in, and he's clearly like supposed to be on heroin, and
it's like overdosing or whatever.
Yeah, and his music producer, all he does is go, "Oh fuck, clean him up, get him out there." And all they do is
his music producer is Bob Hoskins.
All he does is clean him up, and they throw him in a limo. And then he turns, and then it goes back into the conformity thing with the kids, which is the we don't need no education when they're hammering in that into them.
Right.
Because you see in the animation, it starts with the mom, and then it goes to the kid, or to the teacher, and then it goes to the kid, and they're all beating each other.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thread. And now he has the mask on, which he did when he was a kid. It's just basically the pressure of do you do this because this is what we expect of you. And he's turning it,
Right.
he's freaking out in the limo, and he eventually becomes a fascist. So he's completely on board with this is what you want, I guess.
Right.
And he shows up at the end. He does this whole that man's a Jew. Get him out of here.
Right. Yeah. He's a queer. Line him against the wall.
And I think people listening to that in the time were like, "Holy, what is this?" But I'm like, I appreciate that because it's the extreme. He goes to the full fucking extremes. Like that man's black. Get him out of here. Shoot him.
Right. Yeah.
And I love that. I love that he just went there. And I don't want to keep going because I feel like I've been talking for 20 minutes straight.
No, that's fine. I like the part where he was shaving the hair off and he turned himself into
Amanda Bynes?
he turned himself into Robert Blake from Lost Highway.
Yes.
Bob Geldof turned into Robert Blake from Lost Highway.
Hand me back my phone.
Yeah, my phone. I like fucking phone better.
Yeah, it flows better, right?
Hand me back my fucking phone.
Even though we have proof he doesn't say fucking, it still sounds.
He doesn't. I know. Yeah, I still like it better.
It's funny that it was like the Nelson Mandela effect.
Yes,
we both remember fucking and nope.
Yeah. But I think it's because my other friend, because that's why I watched it with the first time, we both said fucking phone too. So we both said that. So we both forget that he doesn't.
Are you saying you watched it with someone before me?
I did. Somebody before
you lied to me.
You lied to
You
me.
said it was your first time.
Sorry. Lost Highway, Bill Pullman. And I remember Patricia Arquette's head through a glass coffee table. I think that was Lost Highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Lost Highway.
The same party, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I can't. And like I said, I need to rewatch Lost Highway. It's been a while.
Me too.
But the movie that I think we should
cover
watch,
that eventually.
I think we should watch another Alan Parker movie to do the compare and contrast.
Because you want to do Angel Heart.
Yeah,
I know.
Because you've never seen it.
When you said you wanted to do another movie, and I'm sitting there staring at Alan Parker's movies, I'm like, well, it's on the list, and yeah, he wants to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, well, watch Angel Heart because you've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
And I think, it'd be interesting to see because it's a good movie. It's good. Mickey Rourke's good. The hero's good.
Do you remember that guy I moved in with to LA when I moved to LA?
Right. The guy when you had all your, not Michael Good.
No.
The other Michael.
Michael something. But he was like 10 years older than us.
Yes.
But I lived with him. I lived with him in Miami. And then I moved back to Michigan. And I was like, fuck Miami. And then he's like, hey, I'm moving to LA. Because I told him I was going to school out there. And he's like, I'm in LA. I'm like, cool, man. I'm going in November or October. Do you want me to, like, you have a place? And he's like, yeah. So I moved in with him. But I remember in his closet in Miami, I went through his closet. And it was like he had all the stacks of the Beach Boys.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, that's my favorite band. And I was like Good Vibration. That's all I knew. Like Surfing USA. And I was like, whatever, man. You're lame. Set it to the side. And then I pull out like Diner.
VHS.
And he goes,
VHS,
my favorite movie, Diner. I was like, okay, man. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
And then the next one I pull out was Angel Heart. And I was like, oh, De Niro. Okay. Never heard of this. And then I put it down. And then since then, I've seen Diner, loved it. I've listened to the Beach Boys, and goddamn, I love the Beach Boys.
There you go.
So Angel Heart is the third.
There you go. Yeah.
Third leg of this trifecta here.
Wow.
Yes.
The Michael saga.
The man had good taste. Because I love the goddamn Beach
Boys. He knew what he was doing. Yeah, well, some people consider what's his name to be like a modern day Beethoven, because he was Brian Wilson, because he was young prodigy, and then he just had all these albums. He's written tons of songs, and all of them are very good, and they're all different. Well, they're not all surfer shit.
No, not all. I told you one of my favorite movies was the
John Cusack one.
The John Cusack, Paul Dano movie, because
I
was watching that and I was like, I didn't realize Brian. Not that I'm comparing myself, but I was like, I kind of have the same things Brian Wilson does, where he in a crowd, he hears one thing and that's it. He shuts
Oh.
down. I'm like, when we're out to dinner and I'm like, I hear music, you can sit there and talk to me and I will not hear you.
Mm.
And I get so fucking overwhelmed in certain places. Like it's very specific. And I'm like, so I'm watching this movie and I'm like, oh my God, this is me. Like, and I was like, I had no idea this is what he was going through. I'm like, this is not normal. This is not how most people are. So I'm sitting in the
No.
theater. I'm like, and Paul Dano is the young version of John Cusack. And because they're both Ryan Wilson. And goddamn,
I thought John Cusack was the dad.
No, they play.
Who's the dad?
Oh, that's a good question. Who plays
It's
the
not.
dad?
It's not John Carroll Lynch, or
He probably is. No, what's his name? Paul Giamatti plays the record producer.
No, does he?
Because he did that like 4 times that year.
He does not lie. He plays a producer in a lot of movies.
In that year, he played that character like 3 times. He was also Straight Outta Compton.
Oh wow, okay.
Paul Giamatti. I can't remember the name. Why am I blanking on the name of the movie?
Tender Mercies? No,
you're close though. Mercy. It has the word mercy in it. Love and Mercy.
Love and Mercy. Yeah.
I have a thing from my wall. Actually, did you see in the background of that clip I played earlier in our last show? There was a thing in the background for Love and Mercy because I grabbed a thing from the theater and I watched.
Oh yeah, okay, interesting.
Who plays the?
Did you find that in the movie, or is that gone as well with the ad?
No, I have that.
Okay, that's still around. They didn't steal that because nobody cares about.
No, you should. I don't want to oversell Love and Mercy. That's definitely a movie I love more than most people, but you should definitely watch it because it's a good movie.
No, yeah, it used to be on HDNet like every day.
It has a 7.4. Like I'm not.
Right. Exactly. No, yeah. I think I've seen pieces of it and it looked good. And I love Paul Dano, so yeah.
Paul Dano and John Cusack.
Yeah, John Cusack I like.
Paul Dano says Brian past. John Cusack says Brian future.
Interesting, yeah.
I don't remember who plays the dad, honestly. Bill Camp?
Okay.
It doesn't really come into play.
Yeah.
Bill Camp shows as a Wilson, so I'm assuming it's him because he's 30 years older than everyone else, but
yeah, maybe. Oh, I thought it was John Cusack was the dad. Okay.
Well, we did our episode on movies about musicians. I think I mentioned that movie and Pink Floyd The Wall. You said you don't need to watch this one again.
Probably not.
Is that because you got it, or it's because it's too depressing to watch again? Because it is depressing.
No, I think it's just like, what would be the reason to watch it again? I didn't have a connection to it, or the music's fine, but it's just like, I saw it. I can go on now. I don't have to see it again. Like if I saw chunks of it, maybe pieces at a time, it'd be fine. But I'm not going to like physically sit down and rewatch it one day. And be like, I want to watch The Wall. Let me put it on. Let me put The Wall on.
I can see that.
Alan Parker, take me away.
Yeah,
it's like no.
It's like chewing into it's a big meal that if you're not relating to it personally, it's not worth it.
Right.
Like this is a lot of meatloaf, but I don't want meatloaf right now. You know what I mean? It's like I really need to be in the meatloaf right now to eat this.
And 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. No, this isn't a meatloaf.
Right.
Not that guy.
I wish he was in it.
What's his real name?
His name was Bob Paulson.
Outside of Robert Paulson, what was his goddamn name?
Oh God, I can't remember.
Because that man is dead.
He's dead.
And I forget that.
Fucking Meatloaf's dead. Yeah, he's dead.
This week I've seen like 6 people where half of them I go, he's dead. Oh wait, he's not. And the other half I go, I wonder what he's up to. Oh, he died 5 years ago.
Dead.
There's like 6 people I did that with this week.
I did that to Elliot Gould. I was like, Elliot Gould's gonna be dead. No, he's still alive. He's still kicking.
Elliot Gould's alive, huh?
Elliot Gould's still alive. Yeah.
My wife put on. She was watching something like Chopped, the cooking show.
Yes.
And it was like celebrity, and it was Michael Corleone versus Sinbad.
Oh.
There were separate episodes, but it was the same competition. And I go,
wow.
Oh yeah, I remember when Sinbad died. Oh, he's alive.
He's just really sick. I think he had a really bad disease. You're thinking Bernie Mac, probably.
No, Bernie Mac died a long time ago.
2007, which is so sad.
A long fucking time ago.
Yeah, that's the
No, but I really thought that Bernie, or you have anything with Bernie Mac, but
Bernie Mac.
no, I really thought that Sinbad died like recently.
I'm tired, America.
I just had no explanation. But it happened like 5 more times in the last week, and I was like, oh, he's still alive.
No, he's fine. He's alive.
Yeah.
He's alive and well. He's fine. But yeah, I thought Ilya Gould was dead. Yeah, there's always that Wilford Brimley. Right? Wilford Brimley, I thought
Brimley died.
He's dead. He finally died.
He died.
He died like recently. Yeah.
Alan Alda and Wilford Brimley died probably within 6 months of each other, right?
Alan Alda died?
Yeah, Alan Alda died.
Is he dead? You're thinking Alan Arkin. Alan Alda's still alive.
I'm pretty sure Alan Alda died. See, this is going to be the time.
Alda's alive. Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Alan Alda's still alive.
Alan Alda's still alive.
Yes.
I know Alan Arkin died.
That
was recent.
Yes.
See, this
just died. I'm dead.
I could have sworn Alan Alda died as well.
No, same name, same iteration. I'm dead. Alan Arkin.
No, but again, he's in that age where born in 36. I'm not going to ask you how he died.
Exactly. What happened?
Accept the fact that he's dead.
He was shot 17 times in a drive-by. Yes. Holy shit. He was shot by Korean gangsters trying to save another Korean kid, a la Gran Torino.
He was killed by... Help me, Dick.
Oh, he's killed by the... Get him, he's a queer. Put him against the wall.
Get him up against the wall.
What's his name?
I don't disagree with anything you said about watching the movie again. And I told you that before we even watched it. Like, you're probably not going to love it as much as I do, and I get it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the art of it.
But that's all I wanted you to see was how you can make an album into a movie and do it this well.
Right.
That's and if you appreciate that, that's really all you need out of it. Because it is impressive what he did with it, right?
I'm glad I watched it. Again, some of these movies, it's like a chore. But it wasn't quite a chore. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy watching it. There's a lot of good things in it. It's short. 5. Yeah, only an hour. That was a plus. That was definitely. I was scared, thinking, "Oh God, it's just like a 2 hour."
No, I wouldn't. And it is so much goddamn better than Tommy by The Who.
Right.
That movie. Yes. I love that album, but outside of that, fuck The Who. Honestly, they have good.
Hey, Roger Daltrey was great on Sliders.
God, the man was obsessed with himself. Roger Daltrey.
I'm Roger Daltrey. Oh,
I have abs. Great.
Look at me. Look at my hair.
Get out of the camera because your face is fucked, man.
I've got Roger Plant hair. Look at me.
What is wrong with your face?
Still look at it.
He has the most exaggerated features of all time.
I'm hideous. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, he's like a super handsome man, but he was like Blue Lagoon stretched out the wrong way. Like the aspect ratio is wrong. It's weird.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. He looks just like what's her name? What's her name? Oh fuck.
Blossom?
The joke is ruined. The joke is ruined.
That's why his name ran.
I forgot her name. I forgot the name of the girl that stars in Blue Lagoon. This is what happens when you get older.
Oh. You're talking about Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields, that's right, yeah.
That was me stalling until I thought of the name Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields, you're right, yeah.
And you are right. And then the podcast is starting to make more sense. The older we get, the less I can think of names.
Yep, it happens.
We're leaning on each other as crutches more and more as we go, Dick.
The best role she ever had was Entourage. The show's terrible, but there's a great moment where Johnny Drama had to do a TV movie with her, and he had a big crush on her, and they hug each other, and she goes up to the director after they hug, and she goes, "He's hard." Yeah. And I died laughing. That's funny.
The problem is
Entourage was bad, but it had funny
show did it
moments.
Much better in years prior because David did it. Larry David did it better I think it was the first season of Curb, where he's like seeing a play at elementary school, and he goes into the bathroom and he's peeing, like He pees in
Right.
the girls'
He's
room
got-
and he comes
he's got
out.
the- He
He
got the
hugs
water
that little girl
bottle.
and he has the water bottle in his pocket.
Yeah,
and she's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Ah!" And that's so much
He
better.
had he had something hard in his pants. Yeah, I remember
There's a water bottle.
There's a water bottle. What are you doing?
Oh my god, it's so uncomfortable, but fucking
That's
hilarious
funny
at the same
shit.
time.
No, his last season's on now, or starting.
Yeah,
Last season.
they started. I think they're like third of the way through shooting it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I
I
mean,
can't believe HBO canceled it of all the things.
well, they got no money. They probably the 13th season probably would have been a triple pay to everybody. I bet you
Take another
contractually.
5 years off, guys. We're not doing it now. Don't cancel it. Just say it's postponed.
He'll probably do specials.
He's got to be 72 now, right, Larry David?
Oh, absolutely.
At
Yeah.
least, right?
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Jeff Garland's had 4 heart attacks and 3 divorces. He's not going anywhere.
Jeff Garland.
Apparently he's a man's a fucking cockroach. He survived a sex scandal too.
Jeff Garland can't die.
So they're not going anywhere. Cheryl Hines apparently just will do anything Larry David asks her.
She's like she got a podcast with someone else. I think Lisa Kudrow or somebody.
Really?
She has a podcast.
Interesting combo.
I can't remember. It might not be Lisa Kudrow, but it's somebody.
I could see them talking though.
Yeah.
If that doesn't exist, I want to see it now though.
Right. It probably doesn't. But I know she has a podcast. She does have a podcast.
The 2 ladies from The Office have a podcast.
They have a podcast. That's right.
And Angela.
Yeah.
They have a podcast, and it's fun. It's a good show. I listen to something from time to time.
Yeah.
I don't listen to ours. I can't listen to ours. It's too racy.
I listen to ours all the time because I want the ratings to be high.
I don't mind the one guy on our show, but I can't stand that main dude.
Yeah, Frank. Shut up,
Dick,
Frank.
I can tell you that today I went on to liwstudios.com and I did something I never thought I would do.
What'd you do?
I changed the name of our shows.
Wow.
We are no longer. We are Hollywood is Dead because that's the new name for LAW.
Right.
Just Floyd in Wonderland, and then became LAW Movie Review. Now Hollywood is Dead. That's our set name. That's not going anywhere. We're done. We're done changing names. No, but I changed the name of LAW Westworld Review, LAW Anthology, not Anthology yet. American Horror Story, Walking Dead. I changed the name of Twilight Zone Review. I changed the name of what else did I change? Whatever. I changed the names, man. Is the important part. Do you want to hear the new names?
Sure.
Oh God. And these are names from the shows. I try to come up with quotes from the shows themselves just because I was like, fuck it, might as well.
Wow.
Watching Westworld again, which is how this started. And I wanted to do there's a quote in that show you've seen the first season. My wife loved season 1, by the way.
Yes, very good show.
So you'll be happy to hear that. And she also loves season 2. And I'm like, yes, it's not as bad as people say, but it's not nearly as good as season 1. But
right, it has an ending. I'll give them that much. It has at least an ending. Yeah.
There's already a show called Violent Beginnings. Or Violent. Oh, sorry, what's the quote? These violent delights have violent endings.
Okay.
Violent ends. It's what Dolores keeps saying throughout season 1. There's already a show called Violent Delights, so I named my show Violent Ends, LAW Westworld Review. LAW Walking Dead Review is now called Just Look at the Flowers, LAW Walking Dead Review.
Okay.
Because that's what Carol tells a little girl before she blows her goddamn brains
out. In the back of the head because she's a psychopath. Yes.
American Horror Story Review. I debated calling it Don't Speak in Whispers, but instead I went with a quote that she says to Macaulay Culkin in season 10. So now it's called Your Poverty Offends Me, LAW American Horror Story Review.
Nobody will understand that.
I know. No, I saw a thing on Reddit where they had 55 people had a conversation about it. So I'm like, people understand this. So
Reddit, what an awful thing.
LAW John Carpenter Review is now called In the Ears of Madness.
Sure.
You get it?
Works for me.
LAW John Frankenheimer Review is now called The Podman Cometh. like the Iceman Cometh.
Okay. Hey, yeah.
It's all the Podman Cometh LIW John Frankenheimer review. So it's mostly there for my amusement.
Yes, fantastic.
But here's the big reveal. LIW The Twilight Zone review is now called Ear of the Beholder.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a podcast.
It's tribute to Adam.
Tribute to Adam. That's mostly what I was going off. And also, I like the changing it to ear because it's a podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very funny.
And it's very sweet. Hollywood is dead. Because fuck Hollywood. This is a movie from '82.
Fuck Hollywood.
Hollywood is dead. And this movie. I think you got exactly what I wanted you to get out of it, at least, which is watch it once, appreciate it. Either you're not going to watch it again or you're going to watch it all the time. Either way, I'm happy with that because as long as you're not the only way you would disappoint me is you're like, fuck this thing, man. Sucked.
No. Yeah. Yes. I didn't do that. Yeah, I didn't hate it. I enjoyed what I saw. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
But it's a movie that I'm just like, okay, I'm glad I saw it once, but like I just don't see myself ever like sitting down like, hey, Henry and Roy, come here. I want to show you the wall. Alan Parker's The Wall. Come on, sit with me. We're gonna watch RoboCop after this.
No, it's too depressing to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a movie I'm going to share with people.
I agree.
Like, but
I have never shown anyone this once until now.
Yeah,
which is why I was curious because I was last week. We ended the show, last week, and I was like, "What do I choose?" And it wasn't even on the list. I don't think.
Right. Yeah.
No,
I don't think it was. Yeah.
You know what?
No, I'm glad you did though.
I was listening to music, and I was like, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna choose this because this movie's in my like top 15, I'd say. Because I love this movie.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not a story movie, so it's not one I'm gonna be like, how do you not like the I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you, but I get why you watch it once.
Yeah.
It's more of a how did this get made sort of thing. Like how is this well funded for what it is? Because this seems like it should be a cheap little thing. But instead they spent so much goddamn money on the visuals, like the kids watching with the clay masks into the machine, it comes out with desks.
Yeah. There's a lot of neat, yeah.
And I love the scenes where because it covers kind of multiple meanings where he's walking into the trenches of World War II, and he goes down and it becomes like his school. And then it also becomes like the hallways of like behind a concert venue. So it really covers like all three sections of it at once. And I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I just love the visuals of this movie. It's far beyond what it should be because it should just be a stupid, shitty movie.
Right, exactly. But it's definitely not that. And that's for sure. It is enjoyable. I'm glad I watched it. I experienced it. I think honestly, I mean, I appreciate Alan Parker even more now because I've seen his other works, and to have him do this movie and see like Mississippi Burning and Angel Heart and like, holy shit, this guy's done a bunch of different styles of movies.
Yeah. And
he's very versatile.
It seems like he does the same approach to everything, which is I know what I want to do here. Who knows what I can get away with. What they'll let me do creatively, and I'll do what I can. And because I did see Mississippi Burning, but the reason I say I didn't watch it is because I don't remember it at this point.
Right.
So when it came out, and I remember nothing from it. Because that's the racist blah 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 in Mississippi, right?
Yeah, it's the three civil rights kids get killed, and FBI agents have to come and figure out what's going on.
See, I saw it when it came out. Was Gene Hackman in that? Who's in that?
Yeah, Gene Hackman, William Dafoe.
I remember that.
Brad Dourif.
Okay.
Brad
Dourif plays that instead of Angel Heart.
We could. I'm all for that. I love Mississippi Burning. I've seen it so many times.
We could do Mississippi Burning versus Angel Heart.
We could do that.
But do we want to do 3 Alan Parker movies in a row?
Probably not.
Up to you.
No, let's do Mississippi Burning. Okay. We'll do Mississippi Burning because I do want to watch that again. I that's one of those movies I watch probably once a year. I watched Mississippi
Really?
Burning.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
just for some reason, it's a movie that I love, and it taught me as a kid, about racism. And really, it's one of those movies that you're like, oh my god, racism is bad. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's bad, and this is why, because I saw this movie, and I remember years later. We'll talk about the movie. I won't get into that now. We'll talk
No,
about
no,
that
you're
when
fine.
we watch.
We're only at 55 minutes, so
No, but it goes into the whole history of the movie when it was released and everything. It ties more into when we watch
okay.
the movie
Yeah, we'll
that
say
I'll
that.
talk about it. Yeah,
Okay.
but no, I love that movie, and I quote that. That's another movie that quote with the family. It's
You,
Mississippi
I'm
Burning.
still every time you mention and this has been going on for 25 years now, or 20 years, however
Yes,
long we've known
yes.
each other. Every time you mention your family and you quote movies, I'm like, I get a little jealousy.
There-
Because you told
There's
when
just
we first met, you're like, me and my
yeah,
family quote Big Lebowski. I'm like,
yeah.
how does your family know about that? Like,
We watched it.
I
It was
don't.
great.
I literally like shut down like a robot in Westworld. I'm like,
Yeah.
how do they know about a movie?
Oh shit.
Wait. Your family talks enough
Yeah.
to have quotes?
Oh god.
I do get super jealous when you say that, but I, I have that with my family now.
Yes, yes. You
I
can do that with your kids.
purposely
Yeah.
catered my family to have that
Yes.
experience, and it is definitely due to you.
Oh yes.
You have shaped my relationship with my wife. I will say
There
that.
you fantastic.
I'm like, I want my family to have this quote from this movie, and we will do
Yes,
that.
yes.
I
I
will
say
force it down their throats if I need to.
well, one of the big ones is just a story about my daddy. That's one of them from Mississippi Burning,
Okay.
and the other one is listen here, shit kicker, shit kicker. That's another one. Listen here, shit kicker. That's when Gene Hackman grabs
Yeah.
Mickey. He grabs oh
Mickey
god, what's
Rourke?
his name? Not Mickey Rourke.
When you started to say that.
Michael Rooker. Michael
Oh,
Rooker.
Michael Rourke. Oh, really?
Michael
Okay.
Rooker's a fucking big hit and a half in
Yeah.
this movie. He's fucking great.
I've seen this.
So
I've
good.
seen Mississippi Burning a bunch, but I don't remember enough to say I watched it.
Right, yeah.
Like it's one of those where it just
Yeah. We whole
Willem
lot of dead N
Dafoe.
words.
I have it pulled
Yeah.
up right now.
Oh, it's a great movie. It's just a great.
Frances McDormand. Okay.
Yeah, she's great. Well, she got, I think, Oscar nominated for that.
Arlie Emery and Stephen Tobolowsky.
Yes, Stephen Tobolowsky plays the Cyclops, the Grand Cyclops of
What?
the KKK.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Dunn and Pruitt Taylor Vince. This movie's got everybody.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Frankie
actors.
Faison. Donald Faison's dad.
Yeah, he's good. He's wonderful in it.
Is he really his dad? I have no idea.
He plays a I don't think he is. He plays a preacher. Yeah, it's a great movie, and like I said, I'll get into the more specifics about Yeah, I don't think they're related.
I'm super curious about this now.
Yeah, no, yeah, this is good. Mississippi Burning. Yeah, let's watch that. That sounds good. Mississippi Burning would be a good one.
Right up our alley, and
what has 5 eyes but doesn't see? Mississippi. That's another one.
I don't know what that means.
That's another quote.
Oh, Mississippi. I got it. Okay.
I mean, and that's 5 eyes but doesn't see. Mississippi.
4 eyes.
Whatever.
I was like, that's why I was like, how does that have 5 eyes?
Never mind, it's 4. You're right. But that's 4 eyes and don't see. And then yeah, there's a couple lines in there I'll bring up.
Literally says Gene Hackman, Willem Dafoe, 1964, when America was at war with itself.
Yeah.
An Alan Parker film, Mississippi Burning, rated R. Orion. Oh wow, yeah. Orion Films, which is finally having a comeback, by the way.
Oh, all right. There you go.
Orion Films is they were like in the heyday of the direct DVD or VHS.
Yes, yes, they're one of them. Yeah.
And then they went away for 20 years. Now they're in the last like 6-7 years, I'd say they're really coming back. Hopefully they can.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be curious. You know what I would love if Orion was as big a producer like Warner Brothers. They just had a giant studio lot, and you're like,
right?
What the fuck, Orion? What have we took off 30 years and you came back with this?
We bought Paramount. We're moving into their studios now. So fuck you.
I love that because Orion's always made interesting movies, at least.
That's funny.
I'm glad you liked. We'll end on this. I'm glad you liked Pink Floyd The Wall. I understand why you didn't relate to it and don't want to watch it more. Obviously, I don't feel the same, but it is a movie I only want to watch like every 5 years at most. I
Right.
would
Yeah.
say
Yeah. Yeah. I would say.
it
Yeah.
is depressing. I agree with Roger Waters. It's too
Yes.
depressing, but that's kind of what I love about it. Is it's it's a man who has to live with his outside of his control and within his control, and he has to live with those mistakes. And I
Yeah.
wish they had more sympathy for him, and that's what Roger said.
Mm.
And I agree with him because it is just you watch him and he's that way and he's a dick and then he just leaves. And it's kind of like maybe that's what Alan Parker thought about Roger Waters.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
He didn't sympathize with him.
Yeah.
Um, there's a bit of disconnect between childhood and grown adults, Pink, if you ask me.
Right.
Even though I know what you're supposed to be feeling, I still don't feel that way about it. But I still love the movie. Keep playing Comfortably Numb at Your Wedding because it's very uncomfortable. Because that movie,
Yes.
that song is not what you think it is. It's not a romantic song at all. Even though it's like, it's, if you notice on Pink Floyd albums, any rock song they have that you're going to remember is not sung by Roger Waters.
Oh, there you
It's
go.
sung by, not Nick Mason, not Roger. Yeah, Richard Wright. No, it's God damn it. Why am I blanking on the fucking names right now? Point is, he doesn't sing those songs. So like it'll be even his the Final Cut album I'm talking about that I love so much. It's my favorite album. It goes to a rock song and suddenly it cuts to not Roger Waters singing. Because Roger Waters is not the best vocalist.
Mm.
He has a very specific voice for certain songs, and outside of that, man sucks.
Right.
He doesn't have a great voice. He's a bassist, and it goes to Richard Wright. Richard Wright. Why am I blanking on?
Your heroes' names.
No, it's On an Island. David Gilmour. God damn, I could not think of his name for some fucking reason. David Gilmour is like the Roger Waters, David Gilmour sort of thing. David Gilmour writes all the big fucking rock songs that you remember Pink Floyd for.
Right.
And then Roger Waters goes, "You're not important." But
Right.
he is.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's where I completely agree with David Gilmour. Like anytime he needs someone to sing a fucking rock song that's gonna make money, he calls in David Gilmour. Every single time. So clearly, Roger, you know that you can't sing and play guitar as well as him. So
Right.
yeah, there's definitely 50 years of history going on with these two guys, but let's get out of here, Dick,
Yeah.
right? I'm so sorry.
All right.
Mississippi Burning, or you want to do Angel Heart or Versus? Final decision.
Let's just do Mississippi Burning.
Really? Okay.
Okay, let's do verses. We'll do a verse. We'll do verses. Let's watch both of them.
Okay, man.
That sounds good.
I'm
Let's
available
do it.
for either.
Yeah, let's do that.
So
That
next
good.
episode, 150. What are we at? 154? 153.
Oh my
Mississippi Burning versus Angel Heart. Probably swapped because I go off what year it came first. That's Angel Heart versus Mississippi Burning.
Yes, fantastic.
What has 4 eyes and can't whatever.
Mississippi.
Oh, Pink Floyd The Wall. I give it 10. What do you give it?
I give it. I would give it a good 8.
That's about what I expected.
I give it an 8. Yeah, for what it is. Yeah, it does what it accomplished, what it set out to do, and it accomplishes it. And it was visually interesting, and it's experimental, and it achieves what it wants to achieve. I think it is a music video movie.
Yeah,
that's what it is. You can't say.
Would you agree with me? I'll say that. I'll say it that way. It sounds like you watched it, actually sat down and watched it instead of just skimming through it, which is good. Which is what I was kind of hoping you would actually watch it.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 yeah.
I was doing my taxes when I was watching it.
It sounds like you actually watched it.
I did watch it.
Say it is the best music video of all time, music movie.
Probably it's up there. Yeah, I haven't seen enough to be able to make that decision.
Yeah. Well, have you seen the Who Tommy?
I've seen chunks of it, and it's weird.
Yeah,
and I was like Hair. I don't want to watch Hair. I could care less about Hair.
Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers. Blues Brothers is up there. That's a good one. That's
I like this more than Blues Brothers.
Well, I can understand that.
Blues Brothers has a lot of flaws, but I
think Blues Brothers is more fun. Blues Brothers is a fun movie.
When
That's what it is.
The Blues Brothers love the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
And then
right.
you see 55 bands in a row, and I'm like, I don't give a shit about Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
I don't care.
See,
that's the problem with the Blues Brothers.
I love that the Blues. I love that everybody they do a different music number with a different band.
I just don't like the Aretha Franklin.
Ray Charles
goes on way too long.
Well, that's because you just don't like women.
I don't like black people, and I don't
exactly. Yeah, that's what it is.
I don't like church, so that scene is unfortunately
Reverend Cleophas. Yes. Oh well.
No, I love Blues.
Oh well, I gotta go because I got to turn on my front porch light.
Until next time. In the meantime, I finish this. So long, citizens. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Fuck you, everybody. Good night.
Oh, hold on.
I forgot about that.
Yes, you're right.
I guess I could have done that, but good night.
No, it's my episode. I should have done it. Let's and then we're out of here.
Fuck you, everybody. Good night.
Bye-bye. This is where we came in.